Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. It's Monday, March 17th, 2025, and these are your Unbiased Updates. President Trump confirms he will be talking directly with Russian President Vladimir Putin this week. What he says will be the key issues in their phone conversation in an attempt to end the war in Ukraine. And nearly 40 people are dead after a combination of tornadoes, dust storms, and wildfires roar through the plains, the Deep South, and the Ozarks over the weekend. Where the storm system is headed next to start the new work week.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
As President Donald Trump and his administration continue working toward brokering peace in Ukraine, the president is getting ready for a high-stakes conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday. President Trump told reporters Sunday night a lot of work was done over the weekend to see if we can bring that war to an end. While speaking with reporters on Air Force One, President Trump was asked about the concessions Putin would have to make for a deal to be reached.
Well, I think we'll be talking about land. It's a lot of land. It's a lot different than it was before the war, as you know. And we'll be talking about land. We'll be talking about power plants. That's up. It's a big question, but I think we have a lot of it already discussed very much by both sides.
You'll ask him.
Ukraine and Russia.
You'll ask him.
We're already talking about that, dividing up certain assets. Yeah, and they've been working on that.
Putin has said he supports a ceasefire, but has not yet agreed to the proposed American deal that was recently accepted by Ukraine. That compromise would include a 30-day ceasefire as the two countries work to finalize an end to the war. Putin says the biggest issues are the logistics of how the ceasefire would be enforced and if Ukraine would be given time to rebuild its troops. This morning, Yemen's Houthi rebels claimed to have attacked an American aircraft carrier group for a second time in 24 hours. It comes after U.S. airstrikes Saturday on parts of Yemen that are under control of the Iran-backed militant group. President Trump has promised to use overwhelming lethal force until the rebel group ceases attacks on shipping along a vital maritime corridor in the Red Sea. A few days before the airstrikes, the Houthis said they would resume attacks on Israeli vessels sailing off Yemen's coast in response to Israel's latest blockade on Gaza. In an appearance on CBS's Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan on Sunday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the new strikes are, quote, not a one-off.
We are not going to have these people controlling which ships can go through and which ones cannot. And so your question is, how long will this go on? It will go on until they no longer have the capability to do that. We're not going to have these guys, these people with weapons able to tell us where our ships can go, where the ships of all the world can go, by the way. It's not just the U.S. We're doing the world a favor. Yeah. We're doing the entire world a favor by getting rid of these guys and their ability to strike global shipping.
In a post on Telegram, the Houthis vowed to, quote, meet escalation with escalation, while denying their actions threaten international shipping. U.S. officials have not confirmed the Houthis' claim to have attacked an American warship for a second time. Meantime, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz appeared on ABC News Sunday and was asked whether direct military action against Iran would be possible.
Well, all options are always on the table with the president, but Iran needs to hear him loud and clear. It is completely unacceptable, and it will be stopped. The level of support that they've been providing the Houthis, just like they have Hezbollah, just like they have the militias in Iraq, Hamas and others.
In response to this weekend's attacks, Iran once again denied aiding the Houthi rebels on state-run TV Sunday. The head of Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard said Iran plays no role in setting the national or operational policies of the rebels. President Trump, on his Truth Social platform, warned Iran to end support for the Houthis immediately and to beware. America will hold Iran fully accountable. Despite a federal judge's order late Saturday temporarily barring the Trump administration from deporting migrants under an 18th century wartime declaration, immigration authorities transferred hundreds of suspected illegal immigrants to El Salvador on Sunday. The White House and Justice Department said the deportation flights to El Salvador were already in the air when the judge issued his ruling. President Trump then thanked the president of El Salvador on Truth Social, saying it will not be forgotten. In an effort to get members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua out of the country, President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 after previously designating the gang as a foreign terrorist organization. The judge blocked the move for at least 14 days. While the lawsuit makes its way through the courts, Immigration and Customs Enforcement will keep non-citizens in its custody. At least 59 people are dead and more than 150 injured after a massive fire ripped through an overcrowded nightclub in North Macedonia early Sunday morning. About 500 people were inside the club for a live pop concert, but Macedonia's interior minister said only 250 tickets had been sold. He said pyrotechnics caused the roof to catch fire. Police have detained 15 people, including the manager of the club and the son of the owner. The interior minister says the company that ran the club was operating on an illegal license and that several former or current officials are now under arrest in connection with the case. Officials say the death toll may rise, with at least 20 victims still in critical condition. Big parts of the country are waking up this morning with daunting cleanup efforts ahead after a deadly onslaught of tornadoes, dust storms, and wildfires that began on Friday. In Mississippi, tornadoes snapped trees in half and wiped out entire neighborhoods. The governor says 6 people died and more than 200 are without homes. 3 tornado-related deaths are confirmed in Alabama. Meantime, in Missouri, at least 12 people died in tornadoes that ripped through places like Wayne County and Butler County, which are both near the Ozarks. Wicked winds in the plains caused extensive damage in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. More than 130 fires broke out in Oklahoma. The governor says flames have destroyed or damaged at least 400 houses. 70-mile-an-hour gusts led the Stillwater fire chief to call it an insurmountable task. Emergency managers in Oklahoma say at least 2 people died there due to wildfires and severe weather. In neighboring Kansas, the Highway Patrol says 8 people died in a huge pileup of at least 50 cars brought on by dust storms. Also, 3 people were killed in crashes in the Texas Panhandle during a dust storm in Amarillo. And it's not over yet. The same weather system is now moving into the southeast and mid-Atlantic. Forecasters are predicting dangerous winds from Florida all the way to New Jersey, with heavy rain across New York and New England today. A tornado watch is already in effect for a large swath of North Carolina and Virginia. President Trump posted on Truth Social that the National Guard has been deployed to Arkansas to deal with the damage there and that federal help will be available for state and local governments impacted by the storms. Finally this morning, Selection Sunday was exciting. Did you watch it? The brackets are now set and tickets to the big dance are punched. We now know the 68 teams who will be taking part in this year's men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments. So let the madness begin. Looking at the men's bracket first, the selection committee named the Auburn Tigers the #1 seed overall, with the committee announcing Duke, Houston, and Florida as the other #1 seeds. The SEC making tournament history with 14 teams in March Madness. Wow, the most ever from one conference. The men's tournament kicks off tomorrow with the first 4. Over on the women's side, for the first time in school history, it is UCLA topping the bracket as the top overall seed, with South Carolina, USC, and Texas also selected as #1 seeds. So will it be a #1 seed or perhaps a Cinderella team getting their one shining moment, if you will? I don't know about you, but I like upsets in the early rounds and then the Goliaths battling for it in the Final Four. So on the men's side, I'm going to go with the Cinderella story since we're based in Omaha. Omaha, the Mavericks. We'll see what happens. As for a big school, Florida's hot. Look out for the Gators. Those are your unbiased updates for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.